this week we are continuing our theme of heroes. Last week we looked at Esther, and this week we're looking at a lady called Jochebed. But let me just ask you first a few questions. So we're going to play a game this morning. Does it sink or does it float? And I've got a few things here. I've got a little bowl of water here, and we're going to see if things sink or float, and you can play this at home. So my first thing is Lego. Do you think Lego sinks or floats? Shall we have a look? Here we go. Okay, Lego floats. Who'd have thought it? Okay, let's try another one. I have a duck. If you think a duck floats, put your hand up at home. See who gets it right. And who do you think maybe thinks a duck doesn't float and it sinks? Here you go. Let's give it a try. Oh, it's just a bit of a sad duck. It's just about floating. Okay, let's try a lion. Does a lion float or sink? Here we go. Let's give it a go. He does float, but on his side. All right. How about a pencil sharpener? Who thinks a pencil sharpener floats or does a pencil sharpener sink? Did you hear that splash? That has definitely sunk. Okay, final one. A frog. Does a frog float? He's quite a heavy frog. Or does he sink? Let's give him a go. Whoa! Do you know what? He is floating as frogs should float. I imagine that is just how a frog behaves when he's out in a pond. So let me tell you this story, because this is a bit about something that floated this morning. You see, Jochebed was an amazing woman. She was the mum of Moses. And at that time in the country, there was a desire to get rid of all the baby boys, all the Israelite baby boys. And she had an idea. She thought, I trust God because I know that God wants us to look after our kids, and I don't want anything to happen to my son. And rather than give him up to be taken away or to be killed, she thought, I'm going to hide him. And she created a little basket. She made a little basket, and on that basket she put her son, and she said to her daughter, go and hide that baby. So the baby went up to a place where she could hide him, and her mum had thought this through very carefully, because she hid that baby in a little basket, and she hid him in the water along where the princess of Egypt walked past. And mum asked that baby to be hidden in the water, and he was protected there until the princess came past that day. And she looked down and she just saw this little baby hiding in the bulrushes, just very quietly, just sitting there. And she looked down and she said, whose baby is this? And at that point, Moses' sister stepped out and said, this is my brother. And she said, do you know what? She said, is there somebody that could look after him for me? And she said, yes, I know just the person. I know somebody who will look after him and keep him safe until he's a bit older and he can be brought to the palace. And the sister, whose name was Miriam, said, I'll take him to that person. And you know who she took him back to? She took him back to his mum. You see, his mum had got this amazing plan about keeping him safe. She'd arranged for him to be hidden in the bulrushes just as the princess came past that point, knowing that the princess would keep him safe and stop him being killed by the king of Egypt. It was an amazing plan, and you know how she took all those steps? Because she trusted God. She had faith that her son would be kept safe. She had faith that this plan would work. It was a scary plan. It could have ended in disaster, but she knew God would look after her child. So my challenge to you this week, is there something that you need to trust God for? Is there something that you're a bit uncertain about, something that makes you a bit frightened? Can you ask God to give you a plan to work that out so that you can trust in him and be an amazing hero for him?